Welcome back to Face the State. Now, late in the legislative session, lawmakers passed Senate Bill 185, which mandates automatic aid between Washoe County and the city of Reno. But Reno's mayor opposed the bill, saying it doesn't go far enough, and she wants consolidation between the two fire departments. Now, Commissioner Burke-Bigler and Chief Moore are back with us now to talk fire services. Okay, so automatic aid basically means that regardless of jurisdiction, whichever crew is closest to an emergent situation will respond, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and that's something that the county was for, right? Tell us about your feelings on the automatic aid bill.
Well, we think it's the right thing to do for citizens. Jurisdictional boundaries are complex. And in a complex boundary, quite often Reno could help us and we could help Reno. We have a robust automatic aid system with the city of Sparks right now, and every single day we respond back and forth for each other. So it just simply makes sense for the citizens to get the closest unit to the scene in the shortest amount of time. It's all about service to the citizen.
So is anything going to be changing with the implementation of this bill, or is it kind of going to just be what we've been doing all along, only on a more official capacity?
Well, it'll change because responses we'll have to change the response pattern, because we can have an incident just a few hundred feet away from a fire station, but that fire station doesn't go. So citizens will now see a response time for structure fires and brush fires that's much quicker.
Oh, that's great news. That's something that you wanted as well?
Absolutely. We've been very concerned about certain areas of our valley. So as an example, in Hidden Valley, that's county, part of it's Reno. Our fire station, if you walk out the front door of our fire station and walk about 100 feet, you're in the city of Reno. And there's a house right there. And so the way it sits right now, if that house caught on fire, our fire station would never be notified of it. And so under an automatic aid program, that gets fixed. And so what we're really hoping to work on is that, and also the dispatch aspect of it, so that we can see where everything is, everybody can see where everything is, and it will be much easier for our dispatchers to run and call and make sure that whatever the problem is being taken care of.
Okay, so why was it necessary to have this go through the Nevada legislature? Is it just too difficult to negotiate with the city, or I mean, what happened?
I think it was political. As you might be aware, for years the city and the county have not really gotten along on a lot of issues. And so I think it was mostly political. My personal opinion is that we should not be going to the legislature. The citizens of this county elect us all to do our job. They don't elect us to go to the legislature and say, oh, well, we can't agree, so could you fix this for us? And I kind of feel like that's what happened. And I understand Senator Kekoffer's reason for doing what happened and introducing the bill, but I personally believe that it's our job to get along and to work together. And I think everybody on this commission, for the most part, and certainly everybody on the city council, which are for almost all new, ran on that whole issue of we're going to stop this infighting, this political infighting that's going on. We're going to get along and work together.
Now, the city wants consolidation between the two departments. It was a fire divorce several years back, and I know this was something that when I spoke to other officials with the county, even just a few months ago, they said it's not something they wanted. Where do you guys stand on consolidation now?
Well, from our perspective, from the board's perspective, and we want to make sure that if we do that ultimately, that it's good for the citizens. So we did a study. We commissioned the fire board, the Washoe County Truckee Meadows Fire Board, commissioned a study called the Blue Ribbon Study, and that study essentially says that ultimately regional fire is a good thing for this community. It would lower the tax rate for the citizens. It has the potential to lower, who knows if it would, but it has the potential to lower it, and it would also assure of better coverage. So, but what they said, the first step is automatic aid. Right. And so that's first step. And so if we take that step and then work out all of the issues and sit down and talk together like adults, like we should be able to do, ultimately, we will get to that, but it isn't going to be a process that's quick.
Okay. Now, Chief Moore, this question's for you. If consolidation were to take place, there are definitely some kinks that would have to get worked out in the system. The city operates on 4-man crews. The county does 3-man crews. How would that all play out if consolidation were to happen?
Well, that's a great question. Our financial stability and sustainability is benchmarked on flexible staffing. And our strategy is based on 70% of our business is EMS. And we don't need 4-person crews to deliver that. It's about quality of firefighters, not quantity. And only 1/2% of our responses are for structure fires. And even less than 1/4% of our responses require 2 in and 2 out to be able to enter a structure. So clearly we're saving lives, and we're providing service to our citizens where they need us most, and that's EMS. We simply can't afford to put 4 firefighters on every engine because it's not sustainable, it's not affordable, and we would have to close stations. So the best thing for our citizens, and citizens give the Board of Fire Commissioners great feedback that they like our service, and we're not in any way, shape, or form challenged financially. So that's really the strategy behind 3-person crews, and we think that it's the key to make fire service work here for the long term.
So there would be an effort then, if there were consolidation, to have Reno then go to 3-man crews as well?
Well, not necessarily in every spot. I'm an advocate for downtown Reno. There's a concentration of risk that requires a concentration of resources. So you have to match the number of firefighters that you have to structural density, to size. And then as you get farther out in the suburban areas, it's not so important to have quite as many resources because the geography is more dispersed and structures are more dispersed and they're not as big.
So what we really think is flexible staffing. It would be the key. So we probably need 4-man crews downtown. There's probably no question, lots of tall buildings, but the further out, we should be flexible. So I think that's really the idea for us, is that flexible staffing is a better idea.
Well, it does sound logical. So then, Chief Moore, is it your hope that eventually consolidation does happen, or not?
Well, it's a long-term issue. There's a lot of stakeholders at the table on this. It can eventually happen, but I think, again, the first step is automatic aid. We need to be able to work together as partners, and once we get that solved, then we can take the next step and the next step.
Okay, the city is now looking for a new fire chief. Is that going to affect the talks at all?
No. It's a commitment that we made to sit down. This is a really important issue to the mayor, and the safety of our citizens is extremely important to all of us. And so we made a commitment to the city that we would sit down and meet with them, and on a routine basis. Our next meeting is the 15th, I think,
yes,
of June, and so we will have another joint meeting. And we met 5 hours at the last one, so we really got through a lot of things. I think our future meetings won't be that long, I don't think, but we're committed to meeting with them, and we don't see that that agreement is going to go away anyway.
Okay, what about other fire agencies? I mean, we have other departments in our region. There's Sparks, there's Tahoe. Would they be involved in any consolidation efforts?
Technically, the legislation only excludes the airport. So the legislation includes Sparks, and it includes the Incline Village, North Lake Tahoe Fire District, which is located in Washoe County. But we already have automatic agreements with them. Automatic aid agreements with them. So I don't know that they have to get involved in all of this. I think that they would like to sit back and watch us get along and figure out how to make it work before they get involved.
Sounds like a good goal. So if this were to happen, this consolidation, any idea of a timeline, how long this might take? I mean, we talking 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years?
I just think right now it's too early to tell. I'd like to see how automatic aid goes. I know that my other commissioners feel the same way. They feel very strongly about seeing how we can work through automatic aid, and then we'll see how quickly we can get this done.
Okay, what's the best case scenario for you?
Well, I think we work hard at it. We have difficult conversations and tough conversations, and we lay out our positions with each other and see if we can find common ground. But the issue is complex. It's not as easy as you might think. There's governance, there's service level, there's stable funding, financial sustainability. All of those things need to be solved. And what I think needs to happen is a pro forma that projects all of those things out for 7 years with an assumed level of expenditures and revenues, and see if it works on paper.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take a lot of work. It's definitely not the easy way of going through it, for sure. Okay.
There's existing debt, there's, and so there's just a lot of issues to touch on.
All right, we are out of time, but thank you both so much for coming on. I do appreciate your time. That is it for this episode of Face the State. Thank you so much for being with us.